So good old Harry Potter. It is in everybody's discussion right now ever since the Harry Potter TV series was announced by good old Max or HBO Max, whatever the hell you want to call them. Harry Potter is back in the discussion, and Harry Potter was recently in the discussion due to Hogwarts Legacy, which was such a huge drama due to the trans community losing their mind over something that didn't even exist. They still decided to get emotional over something that was not real, and it ended up leading to the massive success that was known as Hogwarts Legacy, which became a $1 billion franchise due to people not only supporting an IP that they were already going to support anyway, but sticking it to complete lunatics who have nothing better to do than to choose the easy route for their lazy activism. Now, why am I talking about Harry Potter again? Well, apparently, the actors, some of the actors anyway, for Harry Potter in the original franchise are starting to come out and defend J.K. Rowling. Ironically, why that is, I am unsure. The original three, more so the original two, who played Harry Potter and Hermione respectively, Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson decided it was in their best interest to throw the person under the bus who gave them an entire career in the first place. But apparently, the actor who played Horace Slughorn by the name of Jim Broadbent, he just recently declared that he would support J.K. Rowling on the transgender ideology issues if he was called upon to do so. So this man is actually putting himself out there as a non-ally, because you already know what that's going to be. That's going to be, all over Twitter. Once they find out about this, they're going to say, "Oh, this person is canceled. He's officially not an ally." Blah blah blah. You already know their words mean nothing. But he is coming out in support of J.K. Rowling, and he's not the only one to do so recently. Some of the actors within the Harry Potter universe have been actually coming out to support J.K. Rowling, and I think people are just fed up, man. People are fed up with the overall BS that's going on with this entire narrative that J.K. Rowling is the worst person in the entire world. Yes, she has some terrible politics, in my opinion. Absolutely. She is 100% a hardcore feminist, without a doubt. But at the end of the day, it's ironic to see so many progressives and liberals attack someone who would normally 100% be on their side if they weren't such lunatics in the first place. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, consider hitting that like button, guys, because if you do, you will push us out into the YouTube algorithm. It says Harry Potter actor Jim Broadbent, who played Professor Horace Slughorn, recently made it clear he would support novelist J.K. Rowling and her stance on transgender ideology issues. In an interview with The Telegraph, Broadbent, when asked where he stood on Rowling and her stance on transgender ideology issues, he responded, "It's really sad. I think J.K. Rowling is amazing. I haven't had to confront it myself, but I would support her in that, I think, if it came to it." You know what I find weird? Why is it that every time there is an interview with a particular actor within the previous Harry Potter universe films, why is it that they always bring up J.K. Rowling and the transgender issues that surround her? What does that have to do with the actual movie? Like, you guys are trying to dig as deep as you possibly can to try to find drama and to try to make people kind of draw lines in the sand. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make all these actors draw lines in the sand when they really shouldn't have to do that. Back in June of 2020, Rowling issued three contradictory tweets where, on the one hand, she claimed sex was real, but on the other hand, also implied that you could indeed change your sex by recognizing trans people. She wrote, "If sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women is globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth." It was such a simple tweet, man. Like, that entire tweet was the most simple tweet that you could possibly put out, and she was speaking the truth. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't like when you speak the truth these days, and YouTube is definitely going to suppress people who do speak the truth, which is why so many people dance around the trans ideology issues in the first place. But ultimately, I don't give a shit. What J.K. Rowling said was 100% the truth. There is nothing, like, just because what she said was true doesn't mean it's an attack on trans people. If you take it as an attack, there's something wrong with you. She continued, "The idea that women like me, who've been empathetic to trans people for decades, feeling kinship because they're vulnerable in the same way as women, i.e., to male violence," and there goes her feminist side, "hate trans people because they think sex is real and has lived consequences is a nonsense. I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans. At the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so," she concluded. Now, again, I've said it many times. She would be the ultimate ally for them if they would just stop their shit. I don't understand why they are attacking this woman when she makes it very clear she would march with them under any other issue. She just wants female spaces to be respected and doesn't want creepy ass dudes pretending to be women jumping in on those spaces. That's like, it is such a simple fucking thing. I just don't understand the issue here. It says Rowling elaborated on these thoughts in a lengthy blog post on her personal website, explaining 5 reasons why she spoke out on sex and gender issues while also providing more insight to her thoughts on transgender ideology issues. In the post, Rowling noted she does indeed support body mutilation. I want to be very clear. I know transition will be the solution for some gender dysphoric people, although I'm also aware that extensive research shows that studies have consistently been between 60 and 90% of gender dysphoric teens will grow out of their dysphoria. However, she couches her support of bodily mutilation by having limits put on it, and the removal of those limits is one of the main reasons why she has taken the stance that she has. The current explosion of trans activism is urging a removal of almost all of the robust systems through which candidates for sex reassignment were once required to pass. A man who intends to have no surgery and take no hormones now may secure himself a gender recognition certificate and be a woman in the sight of the law. Many people aren't aware of this, and that is insane. That is insane. That's like exactly what Dylan Mulvaney is doing. He is trying to grift on the trans movement, and he is trying to pretend as if he's going through this transition. He isn't doing a damn thing. The only thing that that man did was he had facial surgery to make himself look more feminine because his face is his product. At the end of the day, they don't care about his lack of boobs. They don't care about the fact that he has a dick. All they care about is that he is supposed to have a feminine face and try to pass as feminine. And obviously he never will pass as feminine. But again, that's why he got that surgery, so that he can make more money off of these companies they want to virtue signal to trans people. She also claims this transgender ideological movement is misogynistic. I've read all the arguments about femaleness not residing in the sexed body and the assertions that biological women don't have common experiences, and I find them too deeply misogynistic and regressive. It's also clear one of the objectives of denying the importance of sex is to erode what some would seem as the cruelly segregationist idea of women having their own biological realities, or just as threatening, unifying realities that make them a cohesive political class. But as many women have said before me, woman is not a costume. And unfortunately for her, it's people like J.K. Rowling. It's people like J.K. Rowling that is allowing this shit to exist and happen in the first place. Women, you are being erased for a reason. You're being erased because you are very complacent in your own erasure. And that is the problem. That is the issue. Women vote like 60, 70% progressive, and men are like 40% or something like that progressive, I believe the numbers. Like, women are more notoriously progressive, and they always want to make it seem like they care about everybody. Meanwhile, they talk shit about everybody behind their back, and it's a known fact. Women are their own biggest enemies. They are their own biggest critics as well. Women don't wear makeup for men. Women wear makeup and try to look skinny and all this stuff and Photoshop their pictures for other women so that they can look better than other women. They're in constant competition with other women. So I don't think it's crazy that J.K. Rowling is trying to protect women's spaces and not let men all of a sudden be able to come in and apparently do everything better, because now you got men leading women's sports, you got men being the face of women's products. What more do you need before biological women are completely erased from existence in terms of mainstream media? Like, they're going to be gone and men are going to take over everything. And guess what? You would have let it all happen and you would have cheered it on and you would have said slay queen as your erasure was happening right before you. So I have no sympathy for women. They need to be able to get their shit together and stop this madness. Otherwise, men are just going to do it better than you ever did. And that's really sad to say. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.